Our today's topic is spread spectrum. So, what was the problem with conventional wireless communication? In conventional wireless communication, we are using one fixed frequency, and from using this frequency, we are sending our data from sender to receiver. Right? Suppose we want to listen to radio, then there is only one frequency on which the radio will going to tune up. So there is the I think suppose I can say there is a 93.5 FM. So this frequency will be remain same. It will not going to change, and a user can tune up on this frequency to listen to the radio. Now, what is the problem? The first problem is interference, and the second one is interception. Interference when signal has constant frequency, that signal subject to interference. This occurs when another signal is transmitted on or a very near the frequency of desired signal. Catastrophic interference can be accidental as amateur radio communication, or it can be in a wartime. Wartime. So what is the meaning of this? Suppose I can say that two people are talking with each other, and some third party will come, and he or she will start speaking loudly or start shouting. So the two parties are not able to listen each other, and such kind of thing is known as the interference. Second thing is interception. A constant frequency signal is easily intercept, and is therefore not well suited to applications in which information must be kept confidential between the source and the destination. So interception means what? If I am sending my data with constant frequency from sender to receiver, and somebody wants to try to know whatever you are sending, that person is can easily hack your data because the frequency is constant, that is not going to change. And to break or to know such kind of constant frequency, that will become very easy to third party. So third party, we can say, do interception in your data. So all these are the, we can say, disadvantages of our conventional, we can say, communication techniques. Now, that's why we have started using spread spectrum. As the name suggests, spread. So here we are spreading our signal. Spread spectrum modulation technique are defined as being those technique in which the bandwidth of the transmitted signal is much higher than the bandwidth of the original message. The bandwidth of the transmitted signal is determined by the message to be transmitted by an additional signal known as a spreading code. So here what we are doing, our signal is transmitted through particular, we can say, spreading code. We are using here different frequency cannot be same. So third party will not able to easily identify which frequency we are using at what time. So it is going to reduce the interference, and it is going to save the immunity of the jamming, because nobody can jam our transmission. We are using different frequencies, so nobody is aware that what frequency and what time we are sending our data. Plus, it is going to reduce the interference also. So, spectrum radio communication is a favorite technology of military because it is resistant from the jamming and hard for an enemy to intercept, just as they are unlike to be intercepted by the military opponent. So here you can see we are having channel encoder, decoder, modulator and demodulator. Here we are using pseudo-generated spread code. Through the channel we are sending our data, and we are encode this data, and receiver side we are going to demodulate and decode our data using this pseudo generator code. The confidentiality going to manage. Spread spectrum is a means of transmission in which the data sequence occupies the bandwidth in excess of the minimum bandwidth necessary to send it. Effectively, the signal is mapped into higher dimension signal space. The signal spreading is done before transmission, done by using the spreading sequence. The same sequence is used at the receiver to reply the or to retrieve the signal. Spectrum is most effective against the interference, international or non-international with fixed energy, main commercial application in wireless and GPS. So I can see that it is going to occupy, we can say, more bandwidth, and Signal spreading we are doing before the transmission using some spreading sequence. So the same sequence we are going to use at the receiver side also. So there is no chances of interference like fixed energy. Like the computer, we can say the basic technology spread spectrum has no signal specific inventor. It is often reported in popular praise, and Hedy Lamarr was awarded an early for the frequency hopping spread spectrum pattern during World War II. This lady has first introduced the spread spectrum technology because during the World War II, the people have jammed our data, our signals. So military people are not able to communicate with each other during World War II. At that time, we were having radio with us and walkie-talkie with us, so they have jammed our signals. So they are not able to communicate with each other. They are not able to save their lives. So during this World War II, this lady, I can say, she has first shown the patent of the spread spectrum. So spread spectrum signals are distributed over the wide range of frequency and then collected back at the receiver. These wideband signals are noise-like and hence difficult to detect or interfere with. Initially adopted into the military application for its resistance to jamming and difficulty of the interception. More recently, adoption in commercial wireless communication also. So there are we can use wireless frequency, or we can say range of wide range of frequency, and that frequency we are collecting at the receiver side also. So it is very difficult to jam these signals or to interfere or to intercept in these signals. It is just like a noise signal, like just like a noise signal. They are hard to detect. Spread spectrum signals are also hard to intercept or demodulate. Further, spread spectrum signals are hard to jam. Uh, then the narrow band signals, this low probability of interception and anti-jam features are why the military has used spread spectrum for so many years. Spreading codes. A noise-like and random signal has to be generated at the transmitter. The same signal must be generated at the receiver in synchronization. We limit the complexity by specifying only 1 bit per sample. For example, a binary sequence 1001 that we will see later on. It is coming in next example. Spread spectrum signal use fast codes that run many times the information bandwidth or data rate. The special spreading code are called pseudo-random or pseudo-noise codes. They are called pseudo because they are not real Gaussian noise. So these are the code which is known as a pseudo-random code because it is not a Gaussian noise. And it is going to, we can say, run very fast, and many time it is going to run. PN sequence generator produces periodic sequence that appears to be random. PN sequences are generated by the algorithm using initial seed. Sequence isn't statistically random, but it will pass through the many tests of the randomness. Sequence referred to as a pseudo-random number or pseudo-noise sequence. Unless algorithm and seed are known, the sequence is impractical to predict. So here we are using, we can say, periodic. It is going to produce the periodic sequence that is going to appear as a random, and here we are applying one algorithm to produce such kind of periodic sequence. It starts from the seed and then it is going to pass through the many random tests. Important PN properties. First is randomness. It is uniform distribution, uniformly distributed. It is having balanced property. It is having run property. They are independent with each other. They are having even correlation property at sender and receiver side. And it is not easy to predict it because it is randomly, it is having randomness. At what time, what frequency they are using, that is not known to anybody. So we can say it is not that much easy to predict like a, we can say, fixed frequency. There are two techniques of, we can say, spread spectrum: direct spread spectrum and the frequency hopping spread spectrum. These are the two techniques of the spread spectrum. You can see here user information data is there, then spreading code is there, then spreaded information is also there. So this is my data, original data, and after applying this such kind of spreading code, the information or this user information will look like this. So you can see here higher, lower, lower at different frequency it is going to transmit. Now what is direct spread spectrum? Here we are having two things. One is a spreading code and the other is users data. And here we are going to multiply with these spread data with the, we can say, spreading code, and information after spreading is look like this, multiplication of this two. So I can say that data signal is multiplied by the spreading code and resulting signal occupies much higher frequency band. You can see here. Later on, we will see how it is going to work. And the next type of frequency next type of spread spectrum is frequency hopping spread spectrum. So we are having two types of we can say spread spectrum: direct spread spectrum and frequency hopping spread spectrum. So in direct spread spectrum, we are using one direct spreading code. Let's see. We will see an example how actually it is going to work. And in frequency hopping spread spectrum, digital signal is modulated with the narrow band signal that hops the frequency band to frequency band over a time. The transmission frequency are determined by the spreading or hopping code. So every user in direct spread spectrum assign a spreading code. This secret code is used to encode the signal. The code is multiplied with the original message and the resultant message is then transmitted. Receiver use the same spreading code to decode the message to retrieve the signal message. For the duration of every message bit, the carrier is modulated following a specific sequence of bit, or we can say it's known as a chips. The process is known as a chipping, and the result in the substitution of every message bit by same sequence of chip. So here we can say the spreading code given to us is 100101. Here we have to consider 0 as a -1. So our new code will look like this. It will look like 1 -1 -1 1 -1 1, because all this 0 we have to consider as a -1. So all the zeros are replaced with the -1, right? So here you can see now how our spreading code will look like. One. Okay, now there is one signal is given to us, low bandwidth signal. They have given 1 1 -1 1 -1 -1, and there is one spreading code they have already given. These two things are given to us. Now how to apply, I can say direct spread sequence. You can see here we have to multiply signal with the spreading code. So this is the bandwidth signal and spreading code I have just written here as it is. The bandwidth signal I have written here as it is. And I have to multiply every one with this spreading code. You can see here this one I have to multiply with this. Again, this one I have to multiply with this. This -1 I have to multiply with this spreading code. This one I have to multiply. This -1 I have to multiply. And this -1 also I have to multiply with this spreading code. So everywhere here I have repeated the same spreading code here. I have repeated same spreading code here. I have repeated here, here, and here. Everywhere I have repeated this same spreading code. 1 triple -1, 1 -1, and 1 1. So 1 triple -1, 1 -1, 1 triple 1 1, 1 triple -1, 1 1 -1, triple double 1. So this is the up to this. This is the code, and the same code we are repeating with every signal given to us. Now what we are doing, we are just simply multiply to encode this to make it confidential with this spreading code. So if I multiply this one with all this, then it will become it will remain as it is. Again, if I multiply with one with all this, again same it is, it remains as it is. But when I'm multiplying with -1, the -1 will become 1, because -1 multiplied with -1 will become 1, and 1 multiplied with -1 will become -1. So you can see here this will become -1, and this -1 is going to multiply with this -1, and they all will become 1. Here -1 is going to multiply with 1, and it will become 1. Here -1 is going to multiply with all this 1, and it is going to become -1. So next code will start from here, and this will going to multiply with 1. Same way, the multiplication will going to happen, and the new signal we are getting is this at the sender side. Now sender has to send this signal. So at receiver side, what we have to do, we have to multiply this signal. I'm just copying this signal here, a last signal, this one. I'm just copying it, right? And I have to multiply this signal with the same spreading code. The spreading code is here given to us. This spreading code I'm writing below this, and then what I'm doing, I'm multiplying with the same spreading code. Okay, so I can say that this 1 is multiplied with 1, I'm getting 1. This -1 is multiplied with this -1, I'm getting 1. So up to this we are getting 1. After multiplication all this, up to this I'm getting -1 after multiplication of this, right? So finally, if I'm merging all this and considering it as a 1 and 1, right? This will become -1, this will become 1, this one is -1, this one is the 1. So 1 1 -1 1 -1 and -1. So what is this? This is my, I can say this is my original signal I have transmitted. 1 1 -1 1 -1 and -1. 1 1 -1 1 -1 and -1. I have not done anything. I have just put the signal as it is, and on every digit of, below every digit of this signal, I have kept my spreading code, and I have multiplied it with my spreading code. In this multiplied signal I have kept at receiver side, and again I have multiplied with this same spreading code, this one, the same I have kept here, right? So again I'm multiplying. After multiplication of this two, I'm getting this signal, and the original 1 1 -1 1 -1 -1. So 1 1 -1 1 -1 -1, my original signal I'm getting at the receiver side. So this is the direct spread spectrum. The next is frequency hopping spread spectrum. We are having various range of frequencies. In frequency hopping spread spectrum, our message is divided into various frequencies, and our message we are sending using different frequencies for different time. So every time is known as we can say hope of that frequency. So this is called frequency hopping spread spectrum. You can see here, sender doesn't use single frequency to transmit the data. Multiple frequency is used for the transmission. Sender send the data using frequency f1 to f625 microsecond, and then change the frequency 1 to 760 to 625 microsecond. They can use one frequency. So different two sender uses the different two frequency letters. So you can see here, suppose I want to send a signal. So in that case, for some time limit I am using this frequency, for some time limit I'm using this frequency, for some time limit I'm using this, I'm using this, then using this. So this is called hopping. We are changing one by one frequency for certain time limit. So this duration is known as a hopping, frequency hopping. Frequency of carrier is periodically modified following the specific sequence of frequency. The sequence is known as a hopping sequence, or we can say spreading code. The amount of time spent on each frequency hop is known as a dwell time. Following frequency hopping sequence message is modulated. So you can see that sender A wants to send some data, and hopping sequence for A is F1, F5, F3 and F8. So you can see here it is using some frequency of F1, some frequency of F5, some frequency of F3, some frequency of F8, and it is going to send the signal. And this frequency hopping, we can say it is known to receiver. And also radio jamming is ever present threat of the radio channels, and this is an attack of availability of the signal, and this is called denial of service attack. So sender is sending something, and receiver before receiving by the receiver, somebody try to jam the signal, and that is known as we can say denial of attack. Traditional anti-jamming technique rely on pre-shared secret codes to increase the channel capability. Spread spectrum technology is an anti-jamming technology. We can say frequency hopping spread spectrum. That hopping sequence must be known to only sender and receiver. Jammer will not even going to get this kind of sequence, even though it will try, but he will not going to get any information regarding the sequence, how this the sender and receiver using this hopping, frequency hopping. The second is direct spread spectrum, PRNG seed that must known to the sender and receiver but not to the jammer. Now, advantages of spread spectrum. The first one is it reduces the cross-talk interference. When two person are talking with each other, third party cannot interfere. It provides the best voice quality and the data integrity and less static noise, lower the susceptibility of the multipath fading, inherent security it provides, coexistence it provides, longer operating distance can be possible through it. It is hard to detect, it is hard to intercept and demodulate, it is harder to jam. So these are the advantages of spread spectrum technology. Spread spectrum promises several benefits such as higher capability and ability to resist multipath propagation. Spread spectrum signals are difficult to intercept for an unauthorized person. They are easily hidden for an unauthorized person. It is difficult to even detect their presence in many cases. There are resistance of jamming. They provide a measure of immunity to distortion due to multipath propagation. They have multiple access capabilities. Spread spectrum is now finding widespread civilian and the commercial applications such as cellular telephone, personal communication, position location. For example, direct spread spectrum used in Electronic Industries Association Interium Standard IS-95 for cellular telephone as well as wide range of proposition location systems such as global position location and the other vehicle location and messaging system. So these are the, we can say, some of the applications where spread spectrum are used. We can say it is used in military, it is used in telephone, it is used in GPS. So these are the, we can see some of the example where you can use spread spectrum technology. And I'm going to end the lecture of today.